Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is David McThomas. I'm a session guitarist based out of South Wales in the UK. Today we're talking... Oh, knee fell. I actually made this video already in the studio, but I think it's just going to be parts now, because since I made the video, I've re-listened to Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography. I'd read it before, listened to it before. I re-listened to it the other day, and since then I attended his funeral celebrations in Birmingham. I think I've just got a bit more of an emotional understanding of the situation. Yeah, this video might be long. I've written down a whole thing that I need to get through. I think on the face of his death, we've lost a musician, a pioneer, a great personality, and a bloke. And beneath that, there's a lot more, which we'll get into, like his death itself. And we're back in the studio. Every time you would listen to the Osbourne's podcast, there would be some sort of mention of him getting back on, and doing a show, basically. He was obviously looking forward to it. There's no doubt in that. And to have that one last hurrah was insane. I mean, I was gigging the day that it happened, but the next day I rented it, watched the entire thing, and it was class. But the thing I struggle with in terms of the people saying, they're not surprised, or it was maybe time, blah, 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 is that, it was only a couple of years ago he gave us a Grammy-winning album, and his vocal performance on it, the songs on it, some of the best stuff I've heard Ozzy do. So when someone is still giving you something, it's hard to accept in some ways. It's not like Ozzy has been inactive for 30 years. He passed away, and then we all go, oh, fair enough, he's just still living off the Sabbath days, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's just not what he was. He was just work until the end, work literally until he passed away, which is remarkable and a massive sign of his character, as far as I understand it. So I've seen Ozzy live twice. Both times were with Black Sabbath. It's a massive regret of mine, to be honest, that I didn't catch his solo stuff. There's only one time I actually ever could have caught his solo stuff, and I think that was Download 2017 or 18 maybe, but I was watching Guns N' Roses the night before, and I only spent a day there. I think I had a gig the next day. But I did hear him sound check, which is cool, in the morning. But when I did see him play with Sabbath, it genuinely was the heaviest thing I've ever heard in my life. And people might go, oh yeah, whatever, things have changed, things have progressed. I used to go to Download Festival. Well, I've probably been over 5 times, something like that, and I feel like I've seen the heaviest of the heavy, the fastest of the fastest. It was cool, but believe it when I say there is nothing heavier than Black Sabbath. Hearing them come out and play the first riff, Black Sabbath, from their first album, Black Sabbath, was just because every other band was trying to be heavy, trying to be the heaviest, trying to be the fastest, blah, 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 blah. And it was cool and whatever. Sabbath come on, they play probably the slowest song of the entire weekend with the heaviest riff, with the fake rain, the lightning crashes. It was so big. It was unbelievable. Yeah. See the outpour now for Ozzy and Sabbath. Sabbath, they are every bit as good as people remember them being. Sorry, I'm setting up for a little session here. So that's a little bit of my background with Ozzy, Sabbath, personally. So when they said they were going to be doing a celebration through the streets of Birmingham, I was just like, well, I'm just going to have to go. This is the only video I took of the whole day. really, I just wanted to be there, pay my respects to someone who has given a lot back to music, guitar music especially. I'd read his book a couple of times, so like I just wanted to go see some of the places. I went to his family home after the ceremony and things. I went to the Working Class Hero exhibition in Birmingham, which is still there, I believe, until the end of September. So I would highly recommend you go check that out. Some of his Grammys, some of his awards are there. What struck me about the house that he lived in was how vividly he painted the picture in his book. Like, I've read his book twice, listened to it once more recently when he passed. The house that he lived in, I shit you not, was like tiny. And it still is. I mean, I think it's a 2-bedroom. It looks like a council terraced house. And like the parallels that I always draw to Ozzy and Sabbath and stuff is like they grew up in an industrial part of Birmingham. I'm from Port Talbot in South Wales, which is extremely industrial. I mean, when we were growing up, pretty much you'd go in and work in the steelworks. My father's worked there. Lots of my friends have work there now. There's just certain things you see in an industrial town. It's kind of grey. Like, for us, we had a beach which kind of separated the grey from the colour, basically. Sometimes we had amazing times, and even now, it's looking better than ever in terms of community. But yeah, he painted a crazily vivid image of like what he grew up in. Another thing I kind of relate to with Ozzy is any sort of compliment, any gift or anything like that, he kind of just runs away. You can see on the Osbournes, he just legs it from people. I cannot take a compliment whatsoever. I literally tell people to shut up if they say anything nice about me, which I generally don't know why that is or where it comes from, but I just like, it's not that I don't want to hear it, it's just like I generally don't know. It's probably just this like deep-rooted idea that like people think I'm good at something or whatever, and like I never want to feel like, oh yeah, I am, kind of thing, or I never want to feel that way ever. I just fight it off so I can't accept anything, which is at a detriment sometimes. Sometimes I can't see what I've done, what I've created or anything, because I'm just so like on to the next thing. Another thing about Ozzy's house that they mentioned in his book, that he didn't actually have a indoor toilet when he lived there. They just had like buckets at the end of the bed, and if you needed a poo, you had to go out the shed at the back, which is insane. The actual celebration in Birmingham was remarkable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life, and I don't think I'm going to either. There were tens and tens of thousands of people all up on the rooftops. It was just like, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, really. All Sabbath songs, Ozzy songs being played all over the city. It was incredible. Really was incredible. There were people that have travelled from all over the world. Someone travelled from Australia to be there. I thought I'd gone quite far from South Wales, but obviously not. The music speaks for itself, but I'm just going to mention that, you know, his melodies were untouchable, basically. He said himself that his lyric ability wasn't the best, but oh my god, he could just riff similar like a guitarist would riff. People consider Iommi to be obviously a riff master, but Ozzy's a riff master of the melody, basically. He's just like, you know, he comes up with anything over a riff. So like one of the hardest things to do is come up with a vocal melody over the riff without following the riff. And, you know, he inspired thousands and thousands and thousands of guitarists, drummers. I mean, look at the musicians he had playing for him. We don't have to go through all of that. We all know that. And it's worth mentioning that he had so many ups and downs in his life that, you know, it'd probably be worth reading his book, because if there's any question marks you've got about Ozzy Osbourne, it's in his book. Anyway, I filmed this video once already, but I think this is what I really wanted to get out and say. But yeah, Ozzy, you know, was a lifer. Lifer is basically someone who just works until they drop. And fuck me, did he work. There's a feeling about someone as immortal as Ozzy falling, and obviously there seems to be an imbalance in the world. It feels weird. And I'm not in the camp where people say, you know, you didn't know somebody so you can't mourn them. That's just bollocks. This man has probably influenced me more than a lot of people, just from the music itself. Just feel whatever you want to feel. It's been a while since he passed now, and I'm just trying to make sure that this is done right. Go back, listen to his stuff. So much to hear. I mean, there's so much that I haven't even tapped into yet. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like one of the mega fans, but I think I'm probably more Sabbath than Ozzy. I need to deep dive into the catalogue. Either way, if you've got any Aussie recommendations, songs, videos, whatever, let me know. And if you can like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Take care, all the best.